At level 383, the 3 daily attempts for the Sin City dungeon were all used up, between figuring out the mechanics and actually running it. Of course, Yaeshu was also going to complete all those quests from levels 31 to 38 that offered attribute rewards and skill tree points. So, just like Tang Ru, he spent the entire day juggling these tasks while consulting the guides. Yaeshu spent yet another entire day glued to his spot. He only planned to leave for dinner, and after that, he didn't rest at all, just dove right back into the grind. Chen Guo was quite puzzled. Yaeshu hadn't slept during the day, and now he was pulling another night shift. Could he even work in a clear-headed state? With Yishu's assurance, Chen Guo let the matter drop. That evening, Xiao Yifan logged into 1-inch Ash as usual, but when he saw the levels of the Great God and the others, groaning, he felt like he was about to cough up blood. Sure enough, when Yaeshu asked, he found out that Tiny Herb had also held a group event for the 2 days of Christmas. A minor character like Xiao Yifan wouldn't dare to pull a Suma Cheng and claim he was sick to get some free time, so he just didn't log in for 2 days. Xiao Yifan knew about the Christmas event and its generous rewards. He'd figured he'd fall a bit behind in levels when he came back, but he never expected to fall this far behind. Xiao Yifan was filled with regret. If he'd known this would happen, he should have just handed his account over to a power leveler for the last couple of days. He hadn't even reached level 31 yet, still stuck at 30. Meanwhile, the Great God was already at level 38. The gap was too wide for their paths to cross. Steamed Bun Invasion was still around his level, but Xiao Yifan had come to the 10th server for the Great God, disdainful.
Right now, Xiao Yifan could only think of one thing.
A power leveler. Xiao Yifan sighed, utterly helpless. He was completely powerless to catch up on his own. The only way was to hire a professional leveling service again. So that night, Xiao Yifan barely played at all. He quickly said goodbye to the expert and logged off. He immediately contacted a power leveling service and handed over his account card. In the blink of an eye, midnight struck again. The entrances to the leveling dungeons began to fill with players. These players, who rush to the dungeon the moment the reset hits at midnight, are undoubtedly the most dedicated in the game. Yaeshu was already back at his usual spot on duty. Tang Ru remained in her seat, the one she now shared with Chen Guo. As for Chen Guo herself, she'd gone to bed well before 11. Everything was just as it had always been, unchanged.
Heading into a dungeon?
Tang Ru sent a message asking. She'd been grinding quests all day, and her head was about to explode.
Let's go.
This time, it wasn't just the two of them. Suma Cheng had logged in that evening and had been clearing quests non-stop. She still had dungeon runs left, but she couldn't be bothered to go. Right now, the City of Sin on the 10th server is crawling with elite players from the major guilds. They all run with fixed teams. You won't find any pickup groups around here. So, Yushu and the other two could only form a 3-man party. At the dungeon entrance, however, they spotted many familiar IDs, folks they'd teamed up with for the Christmas event. They exchanged a few casual, lukewarm greetings, then each party headed into their own instance. A 3-man team was definitely less efficient than a full party of 5, but it was by no means difficult. They chatted when there was something to say, and when there wasn't, they just focused on their controls in silence. The 3 of them pushed forward. It was almost 12:30. They were still far from clearing the dungeon, but for a 5-man team, especially one chasing a dungeon record, this time was just about right. Yushu began paying attention to the channel messages, but by 12:40, there was still no new dungeon record. Yushu was just thinking that maybe everyone would mess up on their first attempt, when the system announcement popped up. Tyrannical Ambition had broken the Sin City dungeon record, which had previously belonged to Herb Garden. The elite teams of the major guilds at this point had undoubtedly all experienced the Christmas event. Their levels were top-notch 39, the dungeon limit for Sin City. Their gear was also top-notch. Thanks to the Christmas event, everyone had acquired plenty of level 35 equipment, and with the guild's resources at their disposal, these elite team members were already fully geared out. The competition for dungeon records in Sin City was at the highest level from the very start, with no warm-up period. Right from the start, every team has been giving it their all. The record currently held by Herb Garden is already a pretty impressive score, but his record only stood for a single day before it was broken. Now, a record being broken isn't usually cause for a huge fuss, But domineering Glory's time of 29 minutes, 34 seconds, and 71 milliseconds, that's a full 3 minutes faster than Herb Garden's original record. Matter-of-factly, such a massive leap in time isn't something you can achieve by just shaving off seconds or getting lucky. Any seasoned player can see there must have been a game-changing strategy, a decisive edge that completely outclassed the original team. The world was in shock, and the major guilds were in shock as well. Yexu, however, felt completely at ease the moment he saw this result.
Did you use your own guide to pull that off?
Tang Ru asked this now. After all, she and Yeshu had run that dungeon back and forth 3 times that morning. It wasn't like they hadn't spoken a single word. Back and forth like this, even though Tang Ru wasn't one for gossip, she'd pretty much pieced together what Yexu was up to, studying the dungeons, writing guides, and selling them.
No,
Acknowledging, how does that compare to the score your guide got?
a bit worse.
Yeshu replied. This was precisely why he felt reassured. If this is the best tyrannical ambition can do while strictly following their guide, then Yeshu is certain their strategy has flaws. It's not the absolute limit. Then for Blue Brook Guild, if they can execute the tactics required by the guide 100%, breaking this record is beyond a doubt.
Who did you sell the guide to?
Blue Brook Guild.
Tang Ru could now tell a few of these guilds apart. The new record set by Tyrannical Ambition was, of course, a hot topic of discussion in the World Channel. Just 3 days ago, Tyrannical Ambition was being mocked mercilessly across the server. But then came the Line Canyon record, and now Sin City, 2 powerful back-to-back records. Of course, the members of Tyrannical Ambition would step up and have their say.
That's just how tyranny is.
Suma Cheng, however, explained it. Coming from a pro-player background, she was used to calling the guild and the team by the same name. When Suma Cheng referred to Tyrannical Ambition, she simply called it tyranny.
Yeah, they just won't let it go, will they?
If Blue Brook Guild breaks our record next, where are we supposed to put our faces?
Yeah. Too hasty. They could have at least come and asked me.
Yexu said this. If the people from Tyrannical Ambition came to ask him, he could honestly tell them that this record wasn't up to snuff yet. If they wanted to brag, they'd need to put in more work. Otherwise, they'd be getting their faces slapped pretty soon. On the other end, Su Macheng let out a few soft laughs before saying,
Let me ask you, aren't you the one person tyranny wants to deal with the least?
That question really did stump Yui Xu. Whether it was the Tyranny team or the Tyrannical Ambition Guild, none of them liked Yexu.